on Channel 6.
From Mid-America's leading news station, the sights and sounds of today's news. This is Action News.
Good afternoon, I'm Pat Persaud. With enormous destructive force, a car bomb exploded this morning in a crowded residential area of Christian East Beirut. Doug Tennell reports.
The car bomb exploded early this morning, just as the little Lebanese Christian neighborhood around Savior Mary Street was coming to life. A powerful blast, destroying 2 buildings, setting fire to dozens of apartments nearby, and claiming an undetermined number of lives, some of them children. At least 84 persons are known to have been hospitalized. The neighborhood is controlled by Christian militiamen loyal to President Amin Gemayel. The bombing came just as Beirut was beginning to quiet down after a night of violent shelling in the city's residential districts, both Christian and Muslim. Nearly 50 persons were killed and 165 injured in a single night of artillery fire. The fighting forced the cancellation of an important meeting of Lebanese religious leaders that some had hoped would help end the escalating violence. No one has claimed responsibility for today's car bombing. The militia that controls Savior Mary Street is reportedly questioning 2 unidentified suspects. Doug Tennell, CBS News, Damascus.
Police now say there were 9 people killed in addition to the 84 injured. Meantime, an official of a French TV station says 4 of its employees being held hostage in Lebanon have sent photographs and letters saying they're in good health. The photos show the men reading a May 14th edition of a Lebanese newspaper. The French team was kidnapped March 8th. And in South Africa, an event both routine and extraordinary. Police yesterday fired tear gas into a crowd of angry demonstrators, a common tactic, but this time there was a difference. This time the targets were white. Steve Croft reports.
The Africana resistance movement had warned the government months ago it would never again allow the ruling party to address a meeting in South Africa's largest province. Outraged with apartheid reforms and talk of power sharing, they overpowered police and stormed the auditorium where Foreign Minister Pick Botha was to speak, waving flags of the old Boer Republic and the swastika-like banner of the Africana resistance movement.
PWT has already sold us down the river, but we're not worried. We're just going to take the republics back. We're not even going to vote for it. We're just going to take them back.
They succeeded in keeping the foreign minister out of the building, but not the government from speaking. Police issued a warning to disperse in a tone familiar to township blacks, then opened up on the white crowd with tear gas. The foreign minister did manage to address a small crowd of loyalists at a secret location. We must save ourselves, he told them. But the white minority government's worst fears had been realized. Whites were fighting whites in South Africa's heartland. Steve Croft, CBS News, Petersburg.
The South African government today is investigating that brawl. The Nebraska Supreme Court says it is indeed murder if you scare somebody to death. It threw out arguments by Derek Dixon that the prosecution presented insufficient evidence to prove that his violent entry into the home of an elderly woman caused her to suffer a fatal heart attack. The body of 76-year-old Susan Jordan was found in her South Omaha home on New Year's Day, 1985. Police say their investigations show that Dixon had kicked open her kitchen door on a bitterly cold day, ripped the cord from the telephone, and ransacked her house. Judge Thomas Shanahan wrote the opinion saying, "What total terror likely seized and constricted Susan Jordan's heart may be beyond another's comprehension." And coming up, no solution in sight to an end of the war in Afghanistan.
Nobody does your look great clips like we do. We do a look that's right for you. Great clips, that's right. Nobody does you like we do. Great styling, great clips. It only looks expensive. Nobody does you like we do.
This place is jumping, Toyota's jumping, the best deals by money. place is jumping at your Toyota dealers. It's the biggest sales event in Toyota history. We're out to make incredible deals on a huge selection of Celicas, Tercels, Corollas, and Camrys.
This place is jumping. Toyota's jumping. We've got the deals on your favorite wheels. Cause now the place is jumping.
Shine, 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 shine.
It's Target's Sunshine Sale. Sunglasses are all 25% off.
Give me that sunshine. Sunshine, shine, 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 sunshine.
Selected skateboards are 25% off too, including the Joker, Ninja, and Terror. Multi-position lounges are just $6.99. So make haste while the sun shines at Target.
Peace talks to end the war in Afghanistan have adjourned in Geneva today without any agreement. The mediator in the UN-sponsored talks says a wide gap exists on the issue of Soviet troop withdrawal. The next round of talks are slated for July. When the United States struck a blow against terrorism with raids on Libya, only British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher sided with the U.S., allowing American planes to launch their raid from British bases. Almost 3/4 of the British people opposed that decision, but in an interview on CBS News this morning, the Prime Minister denied that it was counterproductive.
Very far from it. I think that if a democracy says, I will never use force against someone who is using unwarrantable force to try to attack us, then you're telling him that he can go on and you won't use force. And so he has an advantage, and in the end, terrorism mounts, and more of your people are killed or wounded or maimed. And so there comes a time when you have to use force. But you see, having used force, he knows that it may be used again. And that is a very great deterrent indeed. He never had that deterrent before. But also, other countries are taking other measures, and that is another deterrent. So the situation, I think, has changed.
Mrs. Thatcher said it was terrible that British hostages in Lebanon were killed because of Britain's help in the U.S. raid, but said unless the West deals firmly with terrorism, the numbers of people killed through mounting terrorist activity would be infinitely greater. In New York, an Iranian diplomat got his wrist slapped for an alleged crime that could have led to the loss of his hand in his own country. Anthony Mason reports.
$99 raincoat has turned into an international embarrassment for Iran's envoy to the United Nations. Ambassador Saeed Rajai Khorasani called a press conference yesterday to deny reports he'd tried to shoplift a raincoat from a New York City department store.
That's absurd, isn't it? No.
But according to police reports, Khorasani walked into Alexander's on May 7th, tried on the coat, cut off the price tags, and then tried to walk out when store detectives stopped him. The FBI was called in, but Khorasani, who has diplomatic immunity, was released without being charged.
And I produced my identity card to them, the UN ID, and told them that, look, your detaining me here is improper and illegal.
Khorasani suggested it was all some kind of FBI setup. After all, he said, he's been somewhat of a nuisance to the United States.
I think he was trying to pressurize me.
The FBI would not comment. Ironically, a shoplifter in Iran faces a much stiffer sentence.
He would have had his fingers chopped off.
But the only outcome of this incident, according to Khorasani, is that he's unlikely to shop at Alexander's again. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
Mexican officials say they now know what caused the crash of a Mexicana Airlines jet back in March. Investigators report a wheel in the landing gear overheated, causing the tire to catch fire and explode. Early rumors said a bomb had gone off in the luggage compartment. 167 people were killed in that crash. And a judge in Israel has ordered John Demjanjuk be held for another 90 days. Police investigators say they have enough evidence to prove that the retired U.S. auto worker was Ivan the Terrible, a Nazi death camp guard. Demjanjuk is accused of helping operate the gas chambers at Treblinka, a Nazi death camp in Poland where 900,000 people died. And met East today in Hong Kong. Officials of the two rival Chinese governments took part in a ceremony marking the return of a Taiwan jumbo jet flown to China by a defecting pilot earlier this month. It's the first official contact between the two governments since the communists took power in China in 1949. Hands Across America gets underway Sunday, and Bryce Anderson says weather on Sunday and the Memorial weekend should be good. Stay with us.
This man just loves a holiday. He's a TV in Stereotown store manager. To get ready, he's cutting prices on color TVs, microwave ovens, audio and video equipment. Like this GE Color Portable TV, only $137. A sharp video recorder with remote control, only $245. The TV in Stereotown store managers just can't wait to let you in for their great Memorial Day sale, now through Monday.
What a way to spend a holiday.
In minutes, Mrs. Smith's pie. In minutes, in just 10 minutes.
You've got it made.
Fast in the oven, faster yet in the microwave.
In just 10 minutes, you've got it made.
There's only one pie with this much real fruit and a crust this tender and flaky in its own microwave pan.
Pie. In minutes, Mrs. Smith's pie. In minutes, in just 10 minutes, you've got it made.
Yeah.
Hy-Vee, shop Hy-Vee.
No matter what activities you're planning Memorial Day weekend, plan them around these great Hy-Vee specials. John Morel Franks, 47 cents. Kingsford Charcoal, $2.69. Hy-Vee potato chips, 66 cents. And Hy-Vee Pop, regular and sugar-free, 15 cents plus deposit. Memorial Day, every day. Save at Hy-Vee.
Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
An incredibly ambitious project called Hands Across America will be launched Sunday. Its goal is to have more than 5 million people link hands to raise more than $50 million for the hungry and homeless. The route stretches across more than 4,000 miles from Long Beach, California to New York City, which is where organizer Ken Cragen talked with CBS this morning about how the event is shaping up.
We've been just swamped for the last 10 days. I have no idea how many people now are coming to the line, but it looks great. And we're encouraging everyone just to come out on Sunday. If you can't get through to our lines, it doesn't matter. No one's going to be turned away from the line. Everyone's welcome. Wherever the line goes through your area, get to it, be a part of it, bring your family, go out and have a good time and stand up for the issues of hunger and homelessness in America. I really don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. I'm as curious as anybody else, and I'm as excited about it as anybody in America, I guarantee you.
Cragen said Hands Across America is not the end, but the beginning of an effort by everyone in America to really eliminate the problems of hunger and homelessness. And Bryce Anderson is here to tell us now that we're not going to get wet when we're out there holding hands across America, or it's not going to rain on our picnics this weekend, right?
Yeah, a week ago, you might have wanted to think about umbrellas across America. Seriously.
Not so.
It's not going to happen.
Good.
Not going to happen.
Good.
Little nasty stuff today. We had a little shower this morning, but really, Memorial Day weekend is shaping up fairly well.
Fantastic.
Here's how things are right now. Our sky in Omaha is cloudy, 58 degrees our temperature. Humidity is 77%. East wind at 9, a falling barometer from 29.93, and a cloudy sky in Lincoln with 62 degrees. Temperatures last hour, we were rather cool. We had 56. Lincoln had 58. It was 60 in Des Moines, 62 degrees in Kansas City. The Twin Cities had 60, 57 at Sioux Falls, 62 at Norfolk. Grand Island had 57. It was 53 degrees in Scotts Bluff. Dodge City, Kansas with 67 and 58 degrees in Rapid City. So temperatures a little cooler than they have been at noontime earlier this week. Now, what's causing some of our cool weather? We have a push of cool air coming in right now from the northwestern part of the country. There's a high-pressure cell located just over the U.S.-Canadian border, and it is filtering in this fashion right now, getting into the Nebraska Panhandle, eastern Colorado, into central Nebraska. Ahead of that high-pressure cell are these clouds that are going to stay with us through this afternoon and give us a very skinny chance of a shower later on today. Closer to home, you can see about where that cloud delineation is. Just west of Grand Island is where the sky starts to clear. And then there is some clearing from about Des Moines eastward through Mount Pleasant, Iowa, and then into the central part of the state of Illinois. Our weather makers so far today has been this low pressure cell located over Bismarck, North Dakota. Cold front just about dividing Nebraska in half, and to the east of that front are the clouds. But you can see this high pressure cell now starting to build and move in. It's cool high pressure, but it is dry. So for tomorrow, That center of the high pressure will be just over the Nebraska-Colorado border, right around Julesburg, Colorado. It's going to give us a fairly nice day. A few clouds are going to hang around, but it's going to move all of the main body of any storm front to our east and to our southeast. So we're not looking too bad as we get set for Memorial Day. Here's how things are for this afternoon. Cloudy with a high of 64, Lincoln 65, and a north wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour. So a little cooler than normal, actually. Tonight, partly cloudy with a chance for a little shower, especially early this evening. Low of 47, Lincoln 49. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 70, Lincoln 72 degrees. And for tomorrow night, we look for a partly cloudy sky, low temperature of 50, Lincoln 52. Sunday, not bad, high 71. You can handle that. Keep the mosquitoes away, 71 degrees. Monday, Memorial Day, about the same. Partly cloudy with a high of 72. Low temperature of 54. So grab your light jacket, grab your windbreaker for the picnic.
Sounds like gorgeous temperatures. You know, I can't ever remember Memorial Day being nice, but maybe we'll set history.
We may indeed, especially if, when we have 70-degree weather, usually the humidity is not that bad. So
good. Thanks,
you should
Bryce.
be all right.
Good. And later on, the latest on the condition of fashion designer Perry Ellis and a big money deal for Sylvester Stallone.
Dear Nanny, I had a lot of fun. I like your new home. I think it's real neat. Can I spend the night again if Mom says it's okay? I want to play games and ride in the van to the store with you.
Remington Heights Retirement Center. It's everything you thought retire meant.
Tell my new grandmas I'll see them soon. Love, Dustin.
Nebraska Furniture Mart is going to blow the lid off the price of electronics and appliances. On Thursday and Friday, we'll bust the marketplace wide open with the lowest prices ever. We will not be beating the best from Sony. Just in time for vacations, a Sony 8mm camcorder for just $12.99. A Super Beta Hi-Fi video recorder, only $4.99. A 13-inch Sony Color TV with remote control, just $320. Thursday and Friday will be remembered for a long time at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
On the next edition of Our Magazine, movie legend June Allison joins Gary Collins as Woman of the Hour.
Everybody thought the bogey was a real rough man. He's just like a little pussycat.
Plus, the Hollywood Reporter's Robert Osborne picks this summer's hottest movies. Cool and elegant fashions for a June prom. And shape up with Jack and Elaine Lelaine on the next edition of Our Magazine.
Today at 4 on Channel 6.
Checking on markets stand out this week. Interior Iowa, southern Minnesota hog prices steady to 50 cents higher, a top of $50 in the plants. Expected volume today, 50,000 head. At Sioux City, hogs as much as $1 higher, top 51. In St. Joe, Missouri, hogs $1 up and a top of 50.5. On 1,500 hogs in Omaha, the market firmed to 50 cents higher. An outside top of 51.35 on butcher hogs, ones and twos mostly at 50.5 to 51. Sow prices are steady to weak at $42 to $45. 100 cattle to end out the week in trading in Omaha, and not enough to test any market category. On the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, June live cattle at 55.65 and up 50 cents. August cattle at 52.12 and up 65. June hogs 48.82 and up 52, with July at 47.70 up $1.10. Now grains are mixed today. Corn is a little weaker on the Board of Trade. The July contract 233 3/4, down 2 1/4. September corn at 203 1/4, down 1 1/2. Cash corn in Omaha at 243 is down 2 cents, and Milo at 375 per hundredweight is down 2 cents. Soybeans for July on the Board of Trade 531 3/4, unchanged from yesterday. August beans at 526 1/4, up 1/4 cent, and cash soybeans in Omaha late morning at 522, unchanged from yesterday. Now, corn and wheat have had some weather pressure affect them. The weekend forecast calls for showers here and there in the corn and soybean belt, but conditions generally will be favorable for field work, and that lends a little bit of a hammer to the market. Soybeans had some strength today, coming from some sharp gains in soybean oil. Professional buying of oil has been linked to rumors of upcoming export business and some short covering ahead of the Memorial Day holiday. But while bean prices were higher, gains have been limited by the weather, with farmers expected to make good progress with soybean planting during the weekend. And we're going to do a soybean planting story about midweek next week in our part of the country. Country movement of grains have been very light, with farmers concentrating on planting and other field work. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Your someday is now. The Metropolitan Omaha Builders Association presents the 1986 Spring Parade of Homes. Most homes featuring economical gas heat. See the Sunday World Herald for a tour guide, because your someday is now. May 11th through May 25th.
Catch a rising star. Catch all the rising stars all summer long at Rosenblatt Stadium with the Omaha Royals. Celebrate Memorial Day with the Royals at Rosenblatt for T-shirt night. The first 1,000 kids 14 and under will receive an official Omaha Royals T-shirt free. Catch all the fun Monday night at 7:05. The Omaha Royals at Rosenblatt. Catch a rising star.
We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza. Tombstone. We're ladled down and loaded up with lots of mozzarella on the pizza. Tombstone.
We pile on the goodness, we're loaded with real cheese.
We're sure the taste of Tombstone's gonna please your family. We're a small town, homegrown, made the way you make your own pizza. Tombstone. Made the way you make your very own. Tombstone.
Bob Anderson announces the biggest spring pickup sale in his history. We're big with trucks, always have been, and want to keep it that way. I have 150 brand new Ford trucks on the lot, every one priced at $59 over invoice. I have new factory financing as low as 5.9% on Ford Ranger, 7.9% on Bronco 2, F-150, and F-250. With my low country overhead and this new low factory financing, I can beat anybody's price on a new Ford truck and give you an excellent deal on your trade-in. So hurry. Once people know Bob Anderson saves them money, I know they'll buy.
First of all, we've had some questions over the past few weeks about our Farm Family of the Week visits. There was some special work that I was involved with earlier this month, and that made it a little difficult to get out in the country to make our Farm Family of the Week visits possible. However, Farm Family is going to return next month here on WOWT, so we wanted to let you know what's going on with that. Nebraska ASCS Director Mickey Stewart, the